All right, so my name is Jose Macias, and I have with me James Wright. And
Yes.
yes, sir, how are you? And we are here to talk about, all right, good to see you, sir. We are here to talk about San Antonio youth. Do you know anything about San Antonio youth?
Yes, it's an organization I've been volunteer, having been part of since 2011 in January.
Wow.
So it's an organization that I'm dear to as far as giving back to the community and helping out the youth. Basically, it's an at-risk. It's basically an after-school program to help take at-risk youth off of the streets and promoting positive behavior by promoting good behavior, encouragement, developing their skills, and just getting them to become better as far as helping them in whatever way that you can.
Yeah. So that answers my first question, as in, how long have you been associated with them? But how did you hear of SA Youth?
I heard about SA Youth, Jose, back it was probably in August, September of 2010. The former CEO, Cynthia Lamont, came out to where I work at U.P.S. here in San Antonio, and she spoke. We had a United Way kickoff, and she was part of SAU promoting the organization to our site where I work at. So she came to our team and she spoke about what SAU was about, and I was thinking to myself, what better way to get back to the community and helping out the youth than being part of this organization. So what was interesting, Jose, is I put in an application to become a volunteer twice. The first time I put in the application, I never heard from anybody for like a month. So I'm thinking, maybe it got just lost in the shuffle. So I put in the second application. So they called me in January of 2011, and they interviewed me, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And you know what? I've actually worked for SA Youth, and I think you know this. We met, when was it? Back in 2015, I believe it was. You were volunteering at a site that I was working at. I'm a former employee myself of San Antonio Youth, and it's you're right. It's an organization that really does help at-risk youth, and with people like yourself, an adult male who is, I mean, a lot of these children don't have that. I mean, a lot of them have maybe don't even know their fathers. A lot of their fathers in prison. They didn't, I mean, they're not even in their lives. So, like you and myself who were involved there, it was it's a big deal to have a male figure that they could come to, and not just come to, but come to, that they knew that we were going to be there. They could count on us. So that's, you're absolutely right. It's a great service, especially here in San Antonio. We have a lot of children who are fatherless in a sense. They don't know their fathers. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. So your role at SA Youth is what, sir?
As far as my current role, I'm still a volunteer.
Sure.
My function now is, and then part of the question you asked, I more serve on the board, but also give my volunteer in a sense of being frontline
Sure.
I'm more or less, currently, I'm the only volunteer that is under SAU.
I don't.
It's more of a governing board.
Sure.
That deals with the day-to-day oversight of the financing part of it, operation part of it. I'm on the board, but I serve on their policy.
Okay.
So as they develop policies for the organization, we draft and review the different policies SAU and how they fit in.
Okay, okay. And who else sits at this board? Well, it's what is it, a collection of?
I apologize, Jose, I don't have all the names of the individuals. I know that we have, I'll say we have about a little under 15 total board members.
Okay, yeah, that's more of the question I was asking, yeah.
And that actually comprises the CEO.
Okay. And it's not Cynthia anymore, right? She was there, I believe. I think she was kind of leaving when I was still there. So somebody else now, right?
Cynthia Lamont left as a CEO in 2017, and in 2017, Asia Caribbean took over as the CEO, and she still is currently the CEO.
Okay. All right, let's see. I think we've went over what sort of. Okay, no. In your opinion, why is the concentration of centers on the south side of San Antonio?
Primarily, their main focus was for
Okay.
many years. And because of the pandemic, there was a school district that they started incorporating programming.
Wow.
At the South San School District.
Okay.
South San, starting in 2020.
Okay.
And I think from what I advise, it's even though SAISD is the biggest school district. South San actually had more students that could be part of the program based on the elementary schools that they have in their school district. And that also is tied to the funding aspect of it.
Yeah.
So there's more opportunities for them to expand the programming as well as get more funding.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I was working there, I mean, we were almost across the board. We had just north of downtown and east side and everywhere. So, that's another question. Where was the first site that you first worked at?
The very first site I worked at in January 2011 is over at St. Paul United Methodist Church. And that was off of Center Street on the east side. It was their only east side center that they had at that particular time.
Wow. So what you did back then, in other words, you're not doing anymore, right? Like you said, frontline.
Correct. Yeah. When I first started, I would say my functionality and role for SAE as a volunteer.
No.
But it shifted in March, literally spring break of 2020.
That's all COVID related, right? Just everything.
Correct. Yeah, the pandemic basically changed the world in many aspects, including the after-school program.
Wow.
So what happened was they no longer was able to bring the kids back, and everybody was on lockdown.
Yeah.
They went back to the drawing board, SAU, and we made some strategies and decisions to change the programming.
Yeah.
To the SAISD in the middle of last year, as well as the location that I volunteered, which is off Opera Street near downtown.
That's right.
Near Haven for Hope. That location that I volunteer at is their headquarters / flagship location.
No.
Well, that location, they had 3 elementary schools, part of SAISD, that they had kids being bused to go there after school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because the pandemic caused them to technically shut down programming there, and they shifted gears, they still are after school program for South San School District. However, the location I would volunteer at, they no longer have the younger kids, and now they have the young adults.
Yeah.
However, the young adults that they do have on their programming, they help them. These are a lot of these at-risk teenagers that are high school dropouts, young adults that are trying to go to college, that need some assistance and guidance.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, at the location that I volunteer at, they have those young adults from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. And they started the fall of this year. The Monday through Friday. Therefore, the after school aspect of what I was doing before, I can no longer do because of the fact that I work throughout the day.
Scheduling. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember you were very active, you know, when we were working together. You were there straight out of U.P.S, you know. But then
I miss going there.
yeah.
I miss the students and the kids. It's about them.
Yeah, it really is.
And as a volunteer, as I know that you have me, you're interviewing me and everything, what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's not only about the kids. I wish there was a way to interview all the kids' lives and maybe made a difference. That would be. Not saying this isn't awesome. That would be for us. Take testimonials of these kids and what impact that the organization had in their lives to make a difference.
You know what? You are absolutely right. Because there are times when you get kids and you have them, and then let's say you don't see them again, right? And then you get new kids, and it's sort of the same routine, right? But you never actually get to hear what the impact was on them, you know, maybe in retrospect, you know, after being here, like, wow, that place really did help us, or really did. So that'd be a great follow-up to do at some point, you know, because you're right, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Just to see how and what impact or what changes or what decisions we help, you know, kind of point them in, you know, instead of like, you got this and you got that. Well, they said, let's stay away from this direction and move towards this, or, you know, just however we did impact them, you know, that's a great, I never thought of that. It's a great point.
Yeah, it's great. And as be the other way around, you know, you made an impact on the business lives. Granted, you may not have volunteered for 10 or 15 years.
Now,
I don't really feel that it, and as well as you know, I think the fact that I've done it so long, it's kind of a testimony of what I'm about.
mhm.
To me, regardless if you gave 1 hour or you gave 1,000 hours,
Yeah,
for somebody to volunteer, they're doing it from their heart.
absolutely.
And it's wanting to help and make that difference. And every hour, every minute counts. So thank you for what you've done.
Thank you, sir.
Difference as well for the time that you actually was with SAU at St. Mark's.
Well, thank you very much. And I must say that it wasn't we weren't paid the big bucks there, you know, so it's not like we were there for the money. You know, we were there because we, you know, and my coworkers, I you know, I know I don't speak for everybody, but I can honestly say that we were all there for the children, you know. I mean,
Exactly. Yes.
yeah, I mean, like I said, we weren't there to collect the paycheck or whatever, but we were there because we cared, and yourself alike. So, yeah. So, so what services did SAU provide, if any, during the pandemic?
Um, I can answer from what I know,
That's
but I don't know if it's going to be true to what actually they've done
sure.
or not done. I know from programming, like
Mm-hmm.
having the kids, and I know that going through the pandemic, I know for March, so I would say March all the way through January,
Mm-hmm.
they had no school.
Wow.
They didn't go to any of the schools. No, almost basically a year.
So pretty much shut down.
Yeah, and I think as school started to open with, you know, in person. Well, I do know, and I stand corrected. I do know when they started having students not in person, they started to do virtual.
Really?
I know that. Well, when I know when some of the schools started, they did like part in person.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the students were, you know, they weren't going in person. They were going
Yeah.
virtual classes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the youth. They were involved with classes for
Wow.
And then as the schools started opening up,
Yeah.
then they started also going to the schools and the kids were wearing their masks, these, practices, safe.
Yeah.
But one of the things with SAU during this pandemic that's now is I know they don't have as many kids that they have.
Not like what we used to.
Correct. Yeah, because with SAU, with the way they get their funding, it was numbers driven, right?
Absolutely.
How many kids would go per day? Are they going for at least 30 days or 60 days so they get their credit?
I remember.
I know that there's still numbers involved, but I think because of the pandemic, the requirement on having so many XYZ kids per day, those requirements have lowered. I don't
Okay.
know what the actual limits are,
Sure.
but instead of having, let's say, we want you to have 100 kids every day, because of the pandemic, because of safety purposes,
Yeah.
they probably have said, I've told them, we only want you to have no more, we want you to have 25 kids, but no more than that. Because of the safety purposes.
So the state or whoever's in charge has kind of adjusted that too then, huh?
Yeah, and I think it's not only, there's the state part of it, it's probably the school district and what they say.
Yeah.
But then also it's based on the programs. I think the program has to basically please the masses for the requirements of the school district. I would imagine the school district, the state, local requirements on the how many people you can have at one time.
Health protocol.
Classroom, or after school program probably.
Yeah.
The after school program probably has to adhere to that because physically the students are at the elementary school after school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus they're on site where remember when you were at the church and they're renting that location out.
Yeah.
And the location I'm going to, they own that. So I think there's requirements, but I think they have to meet every requirement that they have.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying too. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Sir, I think that pretty much wraps it up, sir. Well, I want to thank you for your time, Mr. Wright.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you taking
Thank you.
time from. Oh, I was gonna say from taking time out watching the Colts and the Jets right now. Thanks for taking some time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a game that I was. You got that right.
Well, once again, thank you very much for taking the time for not just for this, but for UTSA because I know you're alumni. So thank you very much.
My name and email, and I'll do whatever recommendations and write-ups that you need.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Do the same. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Let's see.